Hey guys, I am so excited to be here tonight, and I am so excited to get to kick off this series. This is something that we've done before, and I didn't really get a whole lot of say in what I got to preach about last time. So I'm super excited to get to kick off this series tonight. My name is Stacia. I'm sorry I didn't say that. And like I said, this series is called Favorites. I'm super excited about it. So pretty much throughout this series, we're going to have a few different speakers that come up, and they are going to talk about one of their favorite Bible stories. And as you can imagine, it was not easy to decide, because there's the Old Testament and the New Testament, and there's every kind of story you can imagine. And you can pick Jesus, you can pick after Jesus, you can pick before Jesus, you can tell a story that Jesus told. So it's like a story within a story, which is hard again. So it was really impossible to choose what I was going to talk about tonight. And I still couldn't narrow it down to just one thing. So I'm actually telling two stories in one tonight. And when I narrowed it down to like 6 stories. And then I was like, okay, so we're going to make this work. So tonight's title is 2 Miracles, 1 Day. So the stories I'm going to tell you tonight are about 2 miracles that Jesus did. And actually it's a few more than 2. And there's 2 miracles, and what you may or may not know is that these miracles actually happened in the same day. And these are stories that you've probably heard before, but hopefully I'll be able to put a little bit of a different spin on them for you. And I'm going to add a little something at the end that's my own personal standpoint on something that happened. So we're going to kick off with point number 1 on your outline, which is what Jesus did for the crowd. What Jesus did for the crowd. So I'm going to be reading a lot out of my Bible tonight because I'm going to be telling a lot of stories. I'm going to make sure I get them right. We're going to spend a lot of time in John chapter 6 tonight. So if you like to read along, they're not going to be on the screen. I'm not going to be reading word for word, but feel free to pull out your phone, pull it up on YouVersion. We're going to be in John chapter 6 most of the night. So we're going to kick off John chapter 6, verse 1. After this, Jesus crossed over to the far side of the Sea of Galilee, also known as the Sea of Tiberias, which is my best guess on that. A huge crowd kept following him wherever he went because they saw his miraculous signs as he healed the sick. So the first thing I think is a huge crowd kept following him. I'm like, okay, so like the Kardashians, paparazzi everywhere, everyone wants to be him, everyone's like, oh, what is he going to do next? That's exactly what's happening right here. The crowd is following him like, what is Kim going to wear next? But instead it's Jesus and what miracle he's going to do next. And so then it says, Jesus climbed a hill and he sat down, he had all his disciples around him. And as soon as Jesus saw a huge crowd of people coming to look at him, he turned to Philip and he said, where can we buy bread to feed all these people? So Jesus is sitting around, he's telling stories, he's having a good old time. And there's all these people around him, and it's lunchtime, and Jesus is like, man, I'm hungry. And he's like, wow, I'm hungry, but all these other people are hungry too. So he looks at his friend and he's like, okay, so how are we going to get Chick-fil-A for all of these people? I mean, like, it's going to be hard enough to get Chick-fil-A for myself. And so Jesus is like, okay, we'll figure something out. And Philip, he said, I don't know what we're going to do, but Philip replied, even if we worked for months, we couldn't have enough money to feed them. So Philip is like, Jesus, do you know how expensive it is to get Chick-fil-A for 12 people, 13? Can you imagine all these people that followed you here? There's no way I can get Chick-fil-A for all of these people. Well, what are we going to do? Well, there's an answer. Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up and said, there's a young boy here with 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. But what good is this for a huge crowd? So, Simon Peter is like, Andrew, Simon Peter, whatever, one of those disciples, looks at Jesus and he's like, there's some bread and some fish over there, and it might be enough for just us. Maybe let's go away and we'll just pretend like the crowd's not here. They can just buy Chick-fil-A for themselves. But Jesus doesn't like that idea. So Jesus says, tell everyone to sit down. And Jesus sits down with them, and Jesus takes the loaves and the fishes, and he gives thanks to God and distributes them to the people. Afterward, he did the same with the fish, and they all ate as much as they wanted. Now, when I think about this, I try and imagine Jesus blessing the baskets of bread and the baskets of fish. and it's just a hard picture for me to grasp. So if you have a perfect image in your head of what that looks like, make a movie of it, show it to me. Because I'm like, is he like holding it up like Simba, like thanks for this, or is he like caressing it? I don't know, but he's blessing the food, same way we do, thank you for this meal. But then it says that he was so excited, and Jesus decides that he's going to bless this food. He starts handing it out to everyone. And then in verse 12, it says, after everyone was full. So they didn't have like a little snack. They didn't have like a few pieces of bread and a bite of fish. No, everyone had a full meal. And it says like 5,000 numbers, but that doesn't count the women and children. So there's like 5,000 men, and if all the men are married, supposedly, that's like 10,000. And if they all had like one kid with them, that's already up to 15,000 people. And in this time, they had more than one kid. So there's probably like 18,000 people here. Can you imagine how much money it would take to feed Chick-fil-A to 18,000 people? Yeah, that's a bigger number than I'll ever see in my entire lifetime. But Jesus did it, and they're all full. So they've had like 1 or 2 or 3 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A. They're all full. Not like, oh, I had 3 nuggets and I'm done. No. All these people are full. And all the people are like, man, surely he is the prophet we have been expecting. So not only are these people, the crowd, they're sitting around, they're listening to Jesus, they're excited. Jesus has been doing all kinds of miracles, and these people are excited to watch Jesus and see what he's going to do next. Little do they know that they were going to be a part of a miracle. Later in their lives, do you think they were like, oh, remember that time when Jesus made fish appear out of thin air? Because I'm trying to picture all of this food, and it says there was even leftovers, so I'm like, okay, so it's like the IHOP commercial where the pancake grows back? Or is it just showing up in the air and raining fish and bread? Or how exactly is this working? Where is all this food coming from? I can't picture it. But I'm sure the people that, got the food were like, remember that time when Jesus made fish just appear on the ground so I could eat it? I mean, can you imagine that miracle? So not only were they there in the presence of Jesus Christ himself, in the flesh, but they also got to be a part of a miracle. They got to be a part of something amazing. And so Jesus did this for the crowd. This wasn't his closest disciples. This wasn't his mom. This wasn't his family. This is just the followers that are just surrounding him all the time. It's not anyone that you would expect for, if I was going to do a miracle, I don't know if I would be making fish appear from random strangers in the street. That's not the miracle I would want to do, but that's the miracle that Jesus did, and he did it for the crowd that was following him. And people are attracted to these good works. The people are attracted to what he's doing, and so it says that surely he's the prophet we've been expecting, and they've been following him, expecting something to happen, and lo and behold, here comes Jesus making bread and fish fall out of the sky, and they're like, whoa, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. And I've seen this in our own church. I don't know how long you guys have been around or how much of our church you've been involved in, but about 1.5 years ago, we kicked off this I Will initiative. We're raising a bunch of money, we're doing a bunch of praying, a bunch of amazing things are happening so that we can expand our building. And it was crazy. I watched after they kicked off that, the first month or so, all of a sudden we were growing like crazy. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Maybe some of you that have been around. There's some people coming back to SEC that left. There's some people giving their lives to Christ like crazy. We've had baptisms like crazy. We've had connect groups like crazy. And so people are like, wow, Jesus is doing something there. I got to see it. That's the same thing the crowd's doing in the story. They're like, oh, Jesus is over there. Let's go over there. That's exactly what's happening in the churches. When you see Jesus doing something, that's where you want to end up. And so Jesus did this amazing miracle for the crowd. And the next miracle that happens right after this. And that's what we're going to get to in point number 2, which is what Jesus did for his friends. What Jesus did for his friends. So it says that when Jesus saw that they were ready to force him to be their king, he slipped away from the hills by himself. So he's like, okay, these people are going a little crazy about this miracle. just going to go have some quiet time by myself. I don't really want all that praise. And so Jesus slips away, and the disciples are getting impatient. They're like, okay, we don't want to stand here anymore and keep these people busy. And so the disciples get on a boat, and they start to go out into the Sea of Galilee. They're going to cross to the other side so they can do whatever they're planning on doing the next day. And this is where we're going to skip around a little bit. Like I said, we're going to be in John chapter 6 for most of the night, but this is where we're going to skip around a little bit. This is what I love about the New Testament. There's all of these books that are all telling the same stories, but from different perspectives. The same way that you and your friend would describe a movie, completely different. That's exactly what's happening in the first 4 books of the New Testament. So in John chapter 6, 16 through 21, it tells this story, but in Matthew 14, 23 through 33, it tells the same story in the eyes of Matthew instead of the eyes of John. So we're actually going to be skipping back and forth between a little bit, but we're going to skip to Matthew right now. And it says, Jesus told his disciples to just get in the boat, and he was going to go up on the hill. The disciples are impatient, waiting for Jesus to come down from the hill, so the disciples just start on sailing. But when night fell, they were alone, and they were in the middle of the water, and they were far away from shore. And it says the disciples were in trouble, far away from shore. A strong wind had risen, and they were fighting the heavy waves. I don't know about you, but I don't even really want to be in my bedroom when it's storming and my house is shaking and it's thundering and lightning. I definitely would not want to be in the middle of the sea on a boat in the middle of the night. That just doesn't sound appealing to me. But that's what the disciples are doing. They're in the boat in the middle of a storm while it's dark outside. Just doesn't sound very exciting to me, but that's what the disciples are doing right now. And it says at about 3 o'clock in the morning, so not only is it nighttime, but it's like 3 o'clock. It's like not like just past bedtime or like right before the morning. It's that awkward time of the night where you're like, I should be asleep right now. There's no reason for me to be up. But the disciples are on a boat while it's storming. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And in verse 25 it says, Jesus came toward them, walking on the water. When the disciples saw him walking on the water, they were terrified. In their fear, they cried out, "It's a ghost!" Yeah, I would too. If I was on a boat in the middle of the water while it was storming, and I saw a human figure walking on the water, I probably would have been screaming, "It's a ghost" too. Maybe some other things, but they wouldn't be written down in the Bible. And then Jesus spoke to them. "Don't be afraid. Take courage. I am here." I don't know about you, but there's a human figure walking to me on the water, and it starts talking to me. Oh no, I don't think so. I would rather be with the fishes than be on that boat while that was happening. But no, it was Jesus. And Peter always has a lot of fun things to say. Peter says, "Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you, walking on the water." No, I don't think so. Peter's crazy. There's no way I would be Peter in this situation. I would be the disciple in the lowest level of the boat, hiding from whatever's going on. I don't know if there was a disciple that did that, it doesn't say, but that would be me, not Peter. But no, Peter's like, I'll just go walk on the water with him. It must be Jesus. No, that's not what I would be saying. But Jesus says, "Yes, come to me." Well, here goes Peter over the side of the boat, walked on the water towards Jesus. Okay, so now Peter is outside of the boat at 3 o'clock in the morning while it's raining and storming and dark outside, and all of his friends are still on the boat. But Peter's on the water, he starts walking. But when he saw the strong wind and the waves, like he didn't see those before, he did see them when he started walking on them though, he was terrified and began to sink. "Save me, Lord," he shouted. That's what I would have been screaming while I was still in the boat, not while I was in the water. But no, Peter started to sink. But Jesus immediately reached out and grabbed him. "You have so little faith," Jesus said. "Why did you doubt me?" When they climbed back in the boat, the wind stopped. The disciples worshipped him. "You really are the Son of God." I don't know about you, but this is the second miracle that's happened today. And if I was Peter, man, not only did I watch all that happen, but I got to be a part of all of it. These are two major miracles. 3, if you want to count the fact that when Jesus stepped on the boat, just like one step and it's like clear outside. That's crazy to me. So while Jesus, these short passages, these 2 short passages, depict like 4 or 5 miracles that Jesus is doing. First of all, Jesus is walking on the water. I don't know if you guys have ever tried that, like floaties or not, but it doesn't work. Don't act like you never did. Then Jesus is like, hey Peter, come with me. Then Peter walks on the water too. And even after Peter sinks, Jesus still helps him walk on the water back to the boat. And then when they step on the boat, the wind and the waves stop. That's like 3 miracles just right there. That's after Jesus fed the 5,000 and made more food appear after than there was before. That's mind-blowing to me. That's all these miracles are happening in one day. One day this has happened. And this is where we're going to get into point 3. And that is what Jesus did for me. So all these miracles have happened in one day. We're going to get back into John chapter 6. In verse 22, it says, the next day. Yep, the next day. So it just skips over, a whole period of time, which, happens a lot. But after I read that and thought about it like this, I'm thinking, okay, so he fed the 5,000, he went up on the hill, he prayed, he walked on the water, he calmed the storm, they show up at their destination, and then lunch the next day. So what happened in that time between? How many of you guys have been on a retreat or a camp or a VN or anything like that? There's quite a bit of you, right? Or had a really good church experience. That should add a few hands. Okay, so you come back from one of those, and we have this thing called a Jesus high that Christians experience. Like, yes, Jesus is awesome! And you're just on that same feeling for 3 weeks straight, and then the world starts to hit, and you're like, okay. Just imagine the Jesus high that the disciples were on when they went to bed that night. I don't think I can imagine that feeling. Can you imagine getting into your tent at night? I'm just going to imagine they had tents. It's just how my brain works when I read the Bible. They get their tents and they slip in their sleeping bags, and Peter rolls over and he looks at John and he's like, you saw all that too, right? Can you imagine what it would feel like after those miracles? Jesus did miracles for people that he didn't know. And then he did miracles for his best friends. He's calmed the storm. And then he did a miracle in one specific person's life. And when we have a close relationship with Jesus, he gets to do those specific miracles in his life, in our lives. He gets to show us how powerful he is, like he did for his 12 disciples that were on that boat. He gets to show us how much we can trust him, like he did for Peter when he walked on the water. He gets to do these specific, exact miracles in our lives. And you're going to hear people say, oh, God only did miracles in the Bible. He doesn't do those anymore. They're wrong. We serve a God who is still in the business of doing miracles. Every single day he's doing miracles in our lives. And so in John chapter 6, we're still there, verse 40, this is when after they had their campfire night, and they're like, wow, that was really awesome. Wow, Jesus. The next day, they're out and about, and there's all of these people questioning Jesus. And to me, I'm thinking, okay, so they're on the other side of the sea, so it can't be the same people that were just experienced the feeding the 5,000 miracle. There's no way it could be. But there's all of these people questioning Jesus, and Jesus said to them in verse 40, for it is my Father's will that all who see his Son and believe in him should have eternal life. I will raise them up at the last day. And so Jesus is saying, you can question me all you want, but this is the purpose that my Father has sent me for. God sent his Son so that we can have eternal life. I don't know about you, but that's a pretty amazing miracle. I can't even begin to think about eternal life, but that's something that Jesus did for us. that we get to spend eternity in heaven with God. And it's going to be awesome. That's a miracle that we take for granted every day as Christians. But that's a miracle that he does in our life every single day. And maybe you're not a Christian right now. And I could go into hours of a spiel about why you should be a Christian. But this is enough for right now. That Jesus gets to do that miracle in your life. He gets to give you eternal life as soon as you ask him into your heart. That's all you have to do. There's no steps. There's no, if you do this or not do this or anything else. All you have to do is ask Jesus to come into your heart, forgive you of your sins, and to help you to be a better person, to be the Christian that he calls you to be. And he gives you this eternal life. And some people will say it's free, but that's a different argument. Jesus gave his life for that. And he will raise us up to be in heaven forever. And so that's one of the next steps that you can take tonight. So on the back of your connection card, this next step of salvation. I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands or talk about that or anything. Just mark it on your connection card if you decide to pray tonight to have Jesus in your life. Because that way, our volunteers and the people that are here can be praying for you and supporting you as you get to experience this amazing miracle. Now we're going to jump in a little bit to another chapter. Whoa! We're leaving John 6 for a little bit. We're going to Romans 8:28. I was telling someone the other day about Romans 8. I don't know why, but it doesn't matter what is going on in my life. I can find a verse in Romans 8 that speaks to exactly what's going on. Whether I'm having a bad day or a good day or a sad day or an ecstatic day, it doesn't matter what's going on. I can find something in Romans 8 that speaks to that. So that's where I'm pulling this verse from, Romans 8:28. And it says, "And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose for them." I want you to underline his purpose for them. Underline and circle and do something, his purpose for them. God has a purpose for us. Every single day, he has a purpose for our life. Every single day we wake up and God has something planned for us. And the thing is that we get to tell people about the amazing things that he's doing in our lives. Can you imagine being one of the disciples after this amazing day of miracle after miracle after miracle? And the next day, you're talking to people and they're questioning the Jesus that you follow. They're questioning the Jesus that performs miracles. They're questioning the Jesus that you love. They're questioning the Jesus that's in your life. That would be hard. Like, I just saw this good stuff happen. Why are these people being mean? Why are these bad things happening? And that's just how life is. There's going to be bad stuff that happens. There's going to be sickness. There's going to be people that are mean to you. There's going to be people that walk out of your life. There's going to be attacks. There's going to be problems that happen. There's going to be all kinds of things that go on in our lives that are not good. But there are going to be a lot of things, a lot more things that are good. And Jesus is constantly doing good things in our lives. Go back to the beginning of this verse. He causes everything to work together for the good of those who love him. So when we have this relationship with Jesus, we have this relationship with him. He gets to do specific miracles in our lives every day that help everything to work together for the good of our lives. There's always going to be something good. So when the bad stuff is happening around you, you have to look back on those good things that God has done in your life. Those miracles, those moments of Jesus high, those moments when you know that God is real and he is working in your life. There's going to be a lot of those moments. And you can't forget about them when you're sitting at the campfire that night. You can't forget about them when people are questioning you or bad things are happening. That's what you have to hold on to. So tonight, I have another next step. And that's something that I think that every single one of us can do tonight. And it is, I will talk to someone this week about a good thing that Jesus has done. And I'm going to give you that opportunity to start that right now. that note card that you had in your chair, everyone pick it up. I want you to write down one good thing that Jesus has done in your life so far this year, maybe last year, recently in your life. One good thing that Jesus has done, that you've witnessed, that you've experienced, one good thing. What we're going to do is just a minute, when the band comes up, I want you to bring that card up and put it on the altar. Put it right here at the edge of the stage. What we're going to do with these cards is we're going to hang them up in the youth room. We haven't picked an exact spot yet, but it's going to be somewhere that you know it. We're going to hang them up, and there's going to be cards consistently at the life desk that you can continue to put good things on. We're going to keep hanging them up. We're going to change them out. That way we constantly have a reminder of the good thing that God has done. Because even if it's not a good thing that happened in your life, it's amazing to watch God do miracles in someone else's life. And I think it is so important that we constantly share those things with each other because it's encouraging. And even if you don't follow Jesus, even if you have a friend that doesn't follow Jesus, it is amazing to tell them about the good things that God has done because you get to relive it yourself. You get to feel it all over again, the good things, the miracles that He's done. So I'm going to get ready to pray, and the band's going to come up, and you guys just worship and just embrace the fact that we serve a good, good Father. That's the song. A good, good Father that does good, good things in our lives. So just bow your heads, close your eyes, hold your hands if you have to. Hey, Daddy, I just want to thank you for this amazing youth group that I've got to be a part of. All the amazing things that you've done in this youth group and in our lives. I know that you have a plan and a purpose for every single person in this room, student and volunteer and guest and whoever is here. You have a purpose for our lives, and you are constantly doing miracles for us. And I know that you will not stop doing that you will continue to be a God of miracles. And I just want to thank you for that, and I just want to thank you for continuing to love us so much. I pray that you just help us to just focus in on you through the rest of this night, and I pray that you just bless every single person in this room. We love you, and in your name we pray. Amen.